Hello, my name is Jenny and this is my first video for Astrology for Ascension. This will be for the week of March 11th through March 17th, the new moon that we have coming on March 17th, and really all of the energies that are happening right now. I thought this would be a time to put my work on YouTube because there's so much going on that's like earth changing, life changing things happening, about to happen. So I thought it would be a good time to put out my first video. This week we had Jupiter go retrograde in the sign of Scorpio. Jupiter going retrograde, Jupiter in Scorpio during the 2018 year of the Master is bringing up, Scorpio is fixed water. It's the dark, deep, murky, still swamp water of the things that are hidden deep, deep down. And with Jupiter, the giant gaseous planet, the king of the gods, that pushes us, he rules the sign of Sagittarius, and he is the ancient ruler of Pisces. And Jupiter is about going further, what more is out there, what more is there to learn about, you name it. It could be higher education, it's foreign travel, it's things that aren't familiar, the ways that we're reaching out and grasping for higher knowledge. So Jupiter in Scorpio is dredging the bottom of the swamp of our psyche, basically. I mean, that's why the Harvey Weinstein scandal came out when, Jupiter went into Scorpio. There's a lot of things that haven't come to light yet that Jupiter will be taking care of now that he is retrograde. He's going to be covering the same area of the degrees of Scorpio since where he started December 12th of 2017. He's going to back up all the way to December 12th of 2017. So this is Jupiter is benefic. He brings us opportunities and blessings and gifts. So this is a great time for opportunities that you've let pass you by will probably reappear if they're supposed to, if that's what's good for you. It's a good time to get things off the ground that you've been thinking of since December of 2017. So I don't really see this as, it isn't like a Mercury retrograde. I think it'll actually be easier for us, for those of us that have had so much coming up to the surface and it's just seemed heavy. This will be a time to go back over it, but I don't think that it will be as heavy. I think it'll probably be almost like a cleaning up, or things that maybe haven't been dealt with. Now will be the time to deal with them. So anyway, that happened this week. And then today we had the Mars trine Uranus happening in the sky. Uranus has been in Aries since 2010. He dipped out and back into Pisces for a short time, but mostly from 2010 until May, the middle of May this year, he's going to be traveling through the sign of Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. Aries is fire. It's initiative. It's what gets us out the gate and makes us go. It's our get up and go. It's our ambition, our drive. It can also be war and battle. But it's with Uranus there all of this time, it's been pushing us each into what makes us, what do we need to do to come into our divine timing, into what we came to the planet to do. This is what Uranus is, an electric energy. It's the tornadic energy of shock and awe and changes that don't go away, like changes that are permanent. Anytime in your life that you've had something happen suddenly, there was a Uranus aspect in your natal chart, for sure. It's like I heard Rick Levine say, you can't say what exactly will happen with Uranus, you just know something will happen with Uranus. So Uranus has been over these degrees that he's going over right now. This is his third time at the end of Aries. And when you come to the end of a sign, that's when you have the strongest energy of that sign. So today with the Mars trine Uranus energy, it's that electric energy talking to fire. It's like an ignition. When I asked Archangel Metatron about what was going on today. I mean, the energies this weekend have been serious energies. He showed me a steam train, and he showed me the coal shaft, and it was he said, we're going on a journey. And the coal was going into the chute, going down the chute into the train, but it was like the loaves and fishes story. It was like this coal is not going to run out. And that's because also today, Mars is just at the tip, or some would say it's already there at the galactic center. The galactic center was known by the ancients as the gateway of the gods. It's where we're getting the downloads from the central sun into our solar system. So Mars is on the galactic center. It's trining Uranus in Aries, which is answering to Mars, and it's getting ready to go into Capricorn. Mars in Capricorn is where it loves to be. And when he showed me the train was Mars, and he showed me the train going up the mountain like Capricorn. But it was like, instead of losing energy as it was going up that mountain, it was gaining. It was, and we've got like all that steam reminded me of the Jupiter and Scorpio stuff, everything coming up from our psyche, everything that's been brought forward and been healed, and, all of the terrible things that happened that have led to a lot of aspects, at least in the United States, of society standing up and saying that's it. And this train is just gaining momentum and getting us to the next step. Mars will be entering Capricorn in a few days. It will enter it actually like within 2 hours of the new moon on Saturday. So it's a very exciting time. A lot of things are happening in the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars. We've got Mercury and Venus and Uranus all there. Jupiter and Scorpio also answering to Mars. So this week it's all about Mars. And then once Mars gets into Capricorn, we've got the ancient ruler of Scorpio, Mars, and the ruler of Aries, Mars. And we've got the new ruler, or the modern ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, in Capricorn. Both of them answering to Saturn in Capricorn. So this week there's a lot of fire in the sky, a lot of let's get this going, then the new moon comes, and then it's all about Saturn. So I'm just going to talk a little bit more about the energies happening today. Mercury in Aries is moving out of its square to Saturn. Mercury in Aries, Mercury is about what we're capable of. It's about communication, and it's about our thought patterns and our mind. Mercury rules Virgo, and Virgo is the practicality of how it all comes together. So Mercury in Aries is about how are we going to do this? What's going to be how we what practical steps can we take to make this mission, our mission in this lifetime, come to fruition? The sun is sextiling Pluto today. That's Pluto in Capricorn is a very fertile energy. The sun is in Pisces. That's a dreamy kind of energy. So it's still coming up with the dream, implementing the steps. The moon will sextile Neptune, and that's a very dreamy energy. That's a tired kind of energy. And then the moon will conjunct Pluto. So that can be a little bit heavy. The moon is our emotions, our moods, and Pluto can be dark, but Pluto can also be powerful. And it's transformational. So it's always good to, with a moon conjunct Pluto day, just kind of transmute those things from your mind, especially with Mercury coming off of that square to Saturn. It can get negative if we let it go that way. And then tomorrow, the sun will square the asteroid Chaos, which I thought was just something I noted down. And the asteroid Chaos speaks for itself, obviously. Moon will sextile Jupiter in Scorpio, coming off of its conjunction with Pluto. So again, that can be, with the Jupiter and Scorpio energy, it's kind of a heavy energy. Now it's retrograde. I don't think it's going to be as heavy, but we shall see. I'm a Scorpio sun, so to me it's been really heavy, and just a lot of everyone that I've talked to has said that. So I'm guessing it'll be the same thing for everybody. Moon will square Uranus and then go into what's called a void off course. So it won't be making any more aspects as it moves into, once it squares Uranus, it will move into the sign of Aquarius. That's a little lighter energy. Aquarius is an air sign, so it's about looking like with an eagle eye, like looking down and being able to take a step back and see things from a higher perspective. On Tuesday, Venus will square Saturn. Venus in Aries, again, answering to Mars, squaring Saturn. So that's about, Venus is not so comfortable in Aries. She's more like, you should treat me the way that I need to be treated. I won't put up with anyone treating me like I have no value or like I'm undervalued. And in a square to Saturn, that could be something that comes up with an authority figure, something that comes up with an institution, things that could come into your mind, like from times that's going on for you. And the moon will be in a sextile to Venus, so that's our mood. Sextiling Venus while Venus is in a square to Saturn. So it's a little bit uncomfortable. And then the moon in Aquarius will sextile Mercury in Aries. Again, that'll be about taking the higher perspective emotionally of whatever's going on, what Mercury in Aries is bringing to you. On Wednesday, the moon will square Jupiter, and a square is a 90-degree angle, so that's a little bit of a harsher aspect on Wednesday, and then it will sextile Uranus on Wednesday evening. So that's, again, the Uranus can also bring us like sudden revelations from the cosmos. Uranus isn't just about shock and awe and like chaotic at all, but it can bring just a sudden like knowing, especially with the moon sextile Uranus. That's a great night probably for dreams, I would think. Thursday, the moon will sextile Mars before going void off course. And then he will move into Pisces. So Thursday, that's a dreamy energy again. He will sextile Saturn in the evening, which Saturn is always a more serious energy. So it's about maybe bringing the dream into practicality. Friday, the moon will conjunct Neptune. That's a very sleepy, I would say that that's probably not such a productive day. Friday, moon conjunct Neptune, and then it will sextile Pluto in the evening. So it's about, the dream, and again, how you bring it forward, moon sextile Pluto. So then on Saturday, we've got, and I wanted to say a little bit more about, because the Saturday morning, it's at 11 minutes after the hour, wherever you are in the world, which is also significant with this new moon on Saturday. At 11 minutes, it's a master number in a master year, and the degree of Pisces that the new moon is happening on Saturday is the degree that it's going to be in a square to Mars and to the galactic center. The galactic center was known as the gate of the gods. We know now, astronomers know, that there are tens of millions of giant red stars, which when they're giant superstars like that, they're dying stars. But it's like a cloud, like a red cloud around the galactic center, and then there's a radio signal coming from inside it, which is pretty cool. So that's where we're getting our downloads from the central sun. So it will make an aspect to the galactic center, and it will also, the moon and the sun will be together, conjunct Chiron, which Chiron in Pisces, Chiron is coming up to the end of Pisces as well. Pisces is about spirit, and Chiron in Pisces is the wound of separation that we believe. And a lot of us, even though we're awakened, still run the subconscious programs about being separated from God. So it's about I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving. I really feel like with the aspect that this is making to the galactic center, it's about letting that wound go, and that this is when I'm going to know now and bring it to me in a kind way that I'm one with highest truth God. I'm a part of God, and I've never been unworthy. I've always been loved. So I see this as a very healing energy. No wounding, healing. It's also going to, the new moon's also going to be in a semi-sextile to Uranus. So it's just about 30 degrees from Uranus. And that's like not such a serious aspect. But it's touching it is the point. You know, all of these at 26 degrees all over the zodiac, the things that are making an aspect to it are all important. So with Uranus there too, you've got that electric, like that starter energy. And then at 14 degrees, we've got Mercury conjunct Venus, Neptune, Lilith, and the Great Attractor. The Great Attractor is, I wrote this down, it is a gravitational anomaly that suggests a localized concentration of mass thousands of times more massive than the Milky Way. The effects of the motions of the galaxies over a region of hundreds of millions of light years across are affected by this mass that they call the Great Attractor. That's at 14 degrees of Sagittarius. So we've got Mercury and Venus in Aries, answering to Mars. That's a lot of fire. Mercury, how we think. Venus, what's our value. Neptune, the dream. And then Lilith, our independence. I'm not going to be stopped. No one's going to tell me what to do. I'm here to do what I'm going to do. So I think that's another awesome, awesome omen for this new moon. And then Mars, like I said, 2 hours later, will tip into Capricorn. Now, what's really interesting is, so like I said, we've got Uranus, Mercury, and Venus, all in Aries, Jupiter in Scorpio, all answering to Mars. Then Mars, on the morning of Saturday morning in the United States, is going to move into Capricorn, and then all of those planets are going to be answering to Saturn, because Mars will be answering to Saturn. And so is Pluto. Pluto's been there for quite a while now. So on April 1st, even when Venus moves into Taurus, he will be, I was thinking Gemini. He will be answering to Mercury, still in Aries. On May 14th, then, Mars will aspect Uranus once again. Mercury will move into Taurus. And then on the 15th, Uranus will move into Taurus. Mars will be retrograde starting on June 27th, and he will retrograde at 9 degrees of Aquarius on June 27th. So we've got June 27th, 27 is a 9 degrees Aquarius. And then he will move backward. He's still answering to Saturn, because Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius. Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius. So I really think, looking at the way that this week has been set up, with all of this coming to Mars and then Mars moving into Capricorn, the fact that it's coming to the 9 in Aquarius and then Mars moving backward, Mars will move backward then and stop its retrograde on August 28th at 28 degrees of Capricorn, which is his point of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. 28 degrees of Capricorn is Mars' degree of exaltation. So, and that's a 1, 28, 1, 11. So I thought that was really fascinating. I also thought it was really fascinating that at the time of the new moon, Heimdall, who is the asteroid, is the guard of the bridge between heaven and earth. When we have this new moon on Saturday, Heimdall will be at 9 degrees of Aquarius, where Mars is going to, once he starts answering to Saturn at that new moon, he's going to stop at that 9 degree, the guard of the bridge between heaven and earth, and then he's going to move back. Another thing that's very interesting to note is that once Mars stops at 9 degrees of Aquarius, he is conjunct just by less than 2 degrees, maybe 2 degrees, the south node of the United States. When we were founded on July 4th, 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was signed, the south node of the United States was at 7 something, almost 8 degrees of Aquarius. And then when Mars moves back to the 28 degrees of Capricorn, he will land on the United States Pluto. So I thought that those were both very interesting, especially with Mars building energy, building, getting into Aquarius, which is the way up there, and then coming back to his degree of exaltation where he is the most powerful on our Pluto, which is retrograde. So that will happen, like I said, August 28th. And then he will continue to work his way again through Aquarius until November 16th. He will enter Pisces. So anyway, obviously I'll talk more about it, but I thought that when he was showing me that train and how it's building energy like the whole way going through Capricorn. It's really Capricorn in no matter what house it is in your chart. Capricorn rules the 10th house of career. So if there's anything or how you're seen in the public or your status, so anything that you've wanted to get off the ground in regard to any of that, this week is the time to do it. Like get your stuff together. Obviously everything happens when it's supposed to, but we also have to work toward what we're wanting to see happen. And I also thought like this was because this year is all about with Uranus coming into Taurus being ruled by Venus, the divine feminine. And this year is supposed to bring forward the divine feminine on Earth in the physically, like changing the Earth geographically, to right the imbalances. That's what Uranus's job is going to be in Taurus, is to right the balances on Earth. So I thought it was also really interesting to me that Mary Magdalene, the asteroid Magdalene, is another one of those that's hitting that 14 degree. She's actually at 13, but 1 degree and 360 degrees, you could give it to her. 13 is the number for the sacred divine feminine, and she will be at 13 degrees for that new moon. So I thought that was pretty fascinating too. Anyway, so lots of big stuff happening. Normally I go through what for each sign, like how the new moon will affect, each one of the signs, or at least your sun sign, like what house it falls into, and so what things it might be regarding. I really think that this is such a big moon, that new moon, like Saturday morning in the United States, so Saturday afternoon, evening, not even evening because it's pretty early here, Saturday afternoon in Europe, that whatever you do, look up at the star, make a wish, say it out loud to the universe, this is what I want to happen, but do something to mark this energy, to bring this energy into, helping you to bring to fruition whatever you want. Capitalize on this moment because it's a big moment. So anyway, my website is astrologyforascension.com, and my email is jennyb at astrologyforascension. I work with the energy of the white light that people see when they pass over, the energy of unconditional love that we're all connected to, that we're all a part of, the energy of God. That is the God energy that runs through each of us. I do healing work, and I teach others how to do that same work. And I'm an astrologer. And if you have any questions or want to know like what's happening in your chart, you could email me at jennyb at astrologyforascension.com. So anyway, have a great week. I'm going to do a video of manifesting for the new moon probably on Friday, so that everybody can do what they want with their manifesting, whatever ritual that you'd like to do, or just a meditation. I'm going to do a manifesting meditation for this new moon because it's just such a big one. And I'll work with the energies of Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary. Mary Salome is another energy that I work with, and Anna, the grandmother of Jesus. I'd like to work with them in bringing healing to the planet and downloading the planet with some unconditional love for all of the changes that it's about to go through, and for all of the people out there that can feel something's coming and are feeling a little bit frightened or just need a little bit of help. I think we could do that on Friday. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great week. Bye-bye.